Welcome to this edition of FemFM and House of Preeminence. If anybody knows anything about me, you will know that I am absolutely, completely obsessed with the links between wellness and abundance, and between high performance and high achievement. So this particular edition that we are now in September is all about feminine high performance. And it's not just about working out, and it's not just about, you know, productivity and all that stuff. This is about girl stuff. This is about staying beautiful and young and vibrant, because we need to be young and beautiful and vibrant as change makers. But we are going to go today on a direction that I haven't brought to you before, and I am so freaking excited about it. I am welcoming back one of my honored guests. She has already been in the magazine. She is the founder of the Platinum Life Institute, and also co-author of the #1 best-selling book, Code Breakers. And this is really somebody who knows an awful lot about energy and high frequency lifestyle. And she's going to be talking today, we're going to be sharing today about something that is going to give you goosebumps and do so much more. Think abundance, think healing, think beauty, think vibrancy, anyway, welcome my gorgeous Sandra Biskind.
Thank you. It's really great to be here with you again, Jenny, and to especially be with all of the House of Preeminence wondrous women that we have, that we get to play with. And I am so excited that I have discovered an energy healing, and I'm going to say energy, but I really wanted to say high frequency energy healing system that not only reverse ages, which is like, well, not only as a girl, who doesn't want that, right? But actually has miracles attached to it. I met a scientist called David Schmidt, a US scientist, rocket scientist actually, and inventor. And he was asked by the US military to come up with something that was completely drug and chemical free, that the Navy SEALs could use when they were in their mini subs in action. And he came up with this incredible invention. And unfortunately for the military, it was just when America was going to war. And so they said, we're putting a hold on everything, come back to us afterwards. Well, because the military said, we can't do this yet, we've got to put it on hold. This scientist was able, his name's David Schmidt, he was able to bring this proprietary energy healing system to the public. And I am just so grateful that we all get to experience what I call the medicine of the future now. And what happens is this is a patch system. Now, some of you will go, well, you know, patches have been around forever. Yeah, patches that deliver drugs have been around for a long time. Patches that simply activate your own body's ability to heal and to do specific actions have not been around forever. And so this is one of the most exciting things I have ever come across. And I know, Jenny, you're excited about it too, right?
I am, and particularly because when I met you last year, early last year, when we featured you in the magazine with your platinum and codebreaker work, the first thing that amazed me when we connected was wow, I had no idea how old you were then. I had no idea, but I thought, my God, but this woman's a goddess. She has the most beautiful skin, a beautiful radiance, because radiance, you know, is so tangible. But you were and still are absolutely drop dead gorgeous. And yes, this is really, we're not just going to talk about beauty. This is so much more. And I'm going to let you keep going with the story about how you found this technology, and what it's done for you.
Well, Jenni, you're so right. This is not about beauty. This is about a luminosity. It's about an energy frequency. It's about how we're showing up. And truly, I resisted this patch technology for 2 years when my girlfriend told me about it. I thought, no, I'm not going to wear a patch. What's that? And then 2 years ago, she said something very important to me. She said stem cells. And the moment she said stem cells, because I knew that stem cells were definitely what the future was holding for all of humanity. And also I had friends and friends' mothers have $25,000 and $36,000 stem cell IVs. And I'm going, whoa, this is incredible, right? And so when she said stem cells, I thought, what's going on? And I listened to David Schmidt speak about this patch called X39. And X39 is the name of a stem cell regeneration patch, which is much more than that. But what he discovered, and the first person to do this in over 5 decades, I mean, scientists have been trying to do this particular thing for a long time. He discovered how to activate copper peptide within our bloodstream. Copper peptide, by the way, if you can see this is the copper peptide formula right here for those scientific minds out there. So what happens is when you put this patch on, which is activated by our own energy and light system. Now, every one of your people knows this because I've heard you say it, I've read your magazine, that everything is energy. And, you know, if you think about Nikola Tesla, he was known as the genius who lit up the world. And he said when scientists focus on energy, vibration, and frequency, they will go further in 10 years than they've gone up until this moment in time. And this scientist has proven him correct. So what these patches do is our energy system that is producing light, and for those of us in the spiritual world, we call it our aura. Our light, the patch goes onto the skin, it reflects our aura, it reflects our light and energy back into the body with information. Now, in the stem cell X39, for instance, the information is activating copper peptide. Copper peptide lengthens our telomeres on the end of our genes, which, as you know, our telomeres grow smaller and smaller as we get older. And what they say, once that happens, you're just aging and that's all there is to it. And this scientist is going, no, that's not right. You know, aging is not natural, it's a disease. So the copper peptide lengthens the telomeres, and that in turn turns on the stem cells. And we started as one stem cell. Just think, we started as one stem cell. This is how important stem cells are for us, right? So what he's done now, he's found this way to activate not only new stem cells in our body and turn on over 4,000 genes to a younger, healthier state, but now they also help neutralize free radicals and regenerate our older stem cells. So this is the most profound healing and reverse aging system on the planet. And it's something that you would think about if you heard about it now, you'd think, oh, that's going to happen in the next 20, 30 years. And it's going, no, it's here now. And so I've been using them for 2 years. And quite frankly, the first 6 months, I thought, I'll just see if there are any changes. I don't want to talk about them. I'd never been in a direct marketing situation. I have been an award-winning business person in 3 different businesses in my life throughout the world. And so I was not about to jump into any product or another business. However, something amazing happened for me, and it really changed my mind, because I have a mission and purpose to help end suffering on this planet. And I do it with my spiritual work. And it is just the most rewarding thing I've ever done. And now, I had a miracle happen. Not only did my skin, I just turned 68 a few days ago, by the way, and my skin is thicker and more luminous than it's been, even well before my 40s. Hair is getting stronger, longer. My energy, my back is straighter. I'm in the pool, swimming 100 laps a day, walking an hour a day, working better than I've ever worked before, and with these rewards, because I'm just feeling better. And of course, when I combine my system of neutralizing and deleting unconscious programs with these patches, which happen to do a similar thing and activate reverse aging, this is a combination for women who really, really want to show up as the best version of who they are, show the world that it is possible to get stronger, be more, no matter what our facial features, our body, that we can be luminous, that we can have this love and energy that we are shining through from us, which is really important. So the thing that really tipped me over the edge, and the reason why I'm even here talking about it with you, Jenni, is because I ended up in such incredible pain in my back that I was sobbing for almost 6 weeks. And I finally had an MRI, and it showed that I have had 3 totally degenerated discs at the base of my spine, and a huge part of my back was arthritic onto a nerve going into my hip. Now, any of you who've had nerve pain, you know what that's like. So I was in fear. I thought, I'm going to end up in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. I'm going to end up addicted to these drug, painkillers, which I had resisted my whole life. And I rang up my girlfriend who put me onto the LifeWave patch system. She said, come down to a pain management afternoon that the scientist is doing. And I thought to myself, I'm not driving for 3 hours in the car. I can't make it. But my husband put me in the car. We drove for 3 hours. When I walked in the door, she called me over, and immediately she patched up underneath my feet, on my wrists, here, and on the back of my spine. Within half an hour, I had tears pouring down my face. This time they were tears of absolute joy. It was like I looked at Daniel and I said, I've got no pain. The pain had completely, like 2 months of really shocking pain, half an hour later, no pain. And I was able to speak to David Schmidt after this one-off pain management that he did. And I told him, hey, I've seen the MRI. I know what's going on inside my body. I'm not in pain right now. What is this? And he just smiled at me and he said, yeah, that's okay. Your back is regenerating now. I'm going, my back is regenerating now. Okay. Do you know that was 18 months ago? And that pain has never, ever come back. And when I got out of that pain management afternoon with no drugs, nothing to be addicted to, just this incredible light energy, high frequency system, I was like, I have to share this. I got straight onto, I created a Facebook book called Patch Me Up, hashtag Patch Me Up Babe. And I thought, everyone that I know and love, I want them to have the opportunity to understand what this is. And by the way, it was at about the time when COVID was hitting, and everybody's business just went boom, like this. Ours too was like zero. And I realized that the business attached to this was with a company that was so profound. It had the level of its integrity, the amount of trust I had in the product was like I had never, ever come across anything. And I would not say yes to any product that wasn't aligned with my mission and purpose to help end suffering, that wasn't aligned with high frequency energy, that wasn't aligned with integrity, and also the ability to collaborate with people to become abundant. Like this was the abundance code 101, right? And what I've since learned is that I now have a team of people who are all dedicated to being on this mission they're here to be of service to humanity. They're all here to live in more love, more joy, more wonder, more money, more abundance. You know, that more is one of my favorite mantras. And all of us are collaborating. We're all sisters in this business together. I've never been in a business with a group of people before where we all help each other, bring each other up and help each other advance in the company to make more money. So I've got people in a team now where honestly, some of them were struggling to feed their family, struggling to pay the rent. And I'm going, this is not right. And as I started to support them with this business, they became so enthusiastic because they were using them on their children. They were using them with their clients. They were, people around them were saying, yes, I want this. And now I've got a team of people who are dedicated to being in this level of abundance. But this is not money just for the sake of money. It's actually financial freedom. It's health and wellness. It's reverse aging. And these patches, by the way, they're about rapid wound healing, better sleep, reverse aging. Olympians in the last 2 Olympics, by the way, have been wearing these, and they're allowed to wear them because they're drug and chemical free. So a lot of the gold medalists, silver and bronze medalists, have been wearing these. This is something that's so important. The other thing that's important to understand is that since COVID has hit the world, and we're aware that viruses do not do well in a copper environment. By the way, that's why hospitals in the past used to have copper on their benches and copper everywhere, because it's a hostile environment for viruses. Daniel and I, we have our first line of defense, and that is copper peptide being released into our bloodstream, and the glutathione patch, which, by the way, this patch activates the liver's ability to produce glutathione for up to 72 hours. Now, I know sports people who spend $1,600 on a glutathione injection before a game. And I don't know that they know this, but that glutathione lasts about, 7 minutes plus in their body. Whereas when you use a patch where you're energetically activating the body's own ability to come back into its own divine blueprint, this is being activated for 72 hours. So glutathione is found in the eyes, the brain, the liver. Whilst we're going through what we're going through, the scientist says, rather than wearing this every 72 hours, wear it daily. So for me, I've got these two. This is my COVID first line of protection, along with a couple of other wonderful, wonderful natural healing things that we do. And we feel strong, we feel confident that we can go anywhere, we can travel, we can do whatever, we can have our life and not be concerned about what's happening around us, which is really important to have this level of confidence. So, I mean, I could talk for hours, honestly, because although I knew nothing about this business and nothing about this healing energy technology 18 months ago, 2 years ago, I now know so much about it, and I'm just so excited to bring it into the world. And I know you're going to say, what about my skin? Well, Alavida is the patch that is like a next generation sleep patch, which helps with deeper sleep. And as we know, when we sleep deeper, the body's regenerating more. But energetically, this is activating collagen production and a whole heap of other fabulous things. And when I started wearing this, I actually, within a month, noticed a marked difference in my skin, even though I had been using the other patches. So I have to tell you about this one. I'm sorry if I'm so excited, but I am. I mean, there's this enthusiasm for me for this energy technology that I never ever thought I would have for anything other than my own work. I hope that doesn't sound terrible. But this patch is my second favorite patch after the stem cell patch. It's called Aeon, A-E-O-N. And I know David Schmidt says it's his second favorite as well. And this one is about helping to neutralize stress and emotional trauma in the body and neutralize inflammation. I mean, those two things alone are just massive for reverse aging, because as you know, collagen is what we need, and then for every part of our body. And also the emotional trauma and stress is the biggest aging and disease forming of anything. All of our thoughts that are negative, that are self-critical or criticizing others, judging others, all of those thoughts where we're being challenged and we don't know how to move beyond it, this little patch does the trick. And I have tested thousands of people. I've asked them, and this will be fun for you to do, Jenni. I've said to people, just think of something that might be upsetting you, because normally I would do that and I would correct out of their system that which is upsetting them. They think about it. And by the way, what I find very interesting is when I say to someone, think about anything or something that's upsetting you, everyone goes straight away. There hasn't been one person that hasn't been able to identify something that is challenging them. Well, and of course now it makes total sense, doesn't it? So I would put one of these patches on the back of their neck, give them a sip of water and say to them, okay, can you find that emotion now? And they'd look at me and their eyes be open like this going, no, no, I can't find it. I said, so does that mean you're neutral? And they go, yeah, I'm neutral. And even though if they hadn't used that word neutral before, they understand what I'm saying. I'm neutral. This neutralizes stress and trauma. Can you imagine for children these days? For all the kids who are having to wear masks, for everybody who's having to go through the segregation, the separation. This is like, for me, it would be on every member of my family. And then, of course, inflammation. Yesterday, I just did some research on neurological information in the brain. And that, of course, is then you can't take off weight. You can't stabilize your weight at your divine set point because of this inflammation in the brain, because the hypothalamus is skewed. And inflammation in the brain is responsible for Alzheimer's, weight gain, dementia, brain fog, all sorts of things. So for me, I've understood that this is one of the most important patches that we can use because it works in synchrony with the stem cell patch. I don't know. I know that we have a limited time here, so I won't keep going. But
I want to bring this back into context because it is so exciting. I know about the glutathione recommendation for protection. It's one of the substances that is being recommended by, the highest qualified experts on immunity on the planet right now, because I didn't know that I didn't even know that there was a patch of it, but I have done my research on the essential elements that we need, and not just on defense, but in curative as well. And what's coming to me while you're talking is that we've been used for some years for this link between in inverted commas, a wellness product and wealth generation in the traditional networking model, which is what you said, that you were like, oh, well, I'm not having anything.
Yeah.
Because it was one of the big pioneers was Herbalife with its dietary supplements. That there are absolutely dozens now, and it does automatically kind of like trigger people a little bit. But while you're talking about the subtlety of the technology, including sending our own aura light energy back into our body, and thinking of this in the context of a mind, body, soul, holistic model, which is what our audience and what not just our audience, but I mean everybody needs, like the world needs to bring their mind, body, and soul into harmony. So
that's exactly what this is, Jenni.
That's what this is coming.
You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah. So what's coming to me is, and as I'm a wordsmith, I think I can probably help here. I'm gonna work on this. Is that there is almost a new dialogue to be had and a new narrative to be created around the importance of this technology, because it's not an example. It's you already told me it is absolutely unique in the world, new and unique. But for me, because I study everything there is to know about peak performance, whether it's mental states, whether it's microdosing, recommended substances, whether it's meditation, whether it's exercise, whether it's extreme sports, whatever it is. I study the science of those, and I know quite a bit now about the science, the art and science of peak performance. And this is coming to me to be a beautiful new, I won't even call it a tool at the moment. There's what I said about there's a new description that needs to be kind of come in.
I agree with you. Yeah.
So
when you think that our own light and energy is now bioavailable to us through a patch, when you were talking about glutathione, just for 1 minute, unless we have a really strong immune system right now, we are not going to cope, because every little thing, every little stress, helps to degrade the immune system. And that's why this is such an important tool. It's such an important product for us. And I love the way you said, there's so many herbal lives, there's so many oils, there's so many Tupperware, there's so many makeup, that's why for me, none of it could work. And I know for you, with the abundance factor here and the ability to help people, reset their business, reset their financial freedom using something that is, by the way, totally patented for at least the next 20 years, which means no one can copy this technology, which means for those of us who have said, yes, I am definitely going to use this as a business, in my business, with all of my clients and students, that means that I can be assured that no one else is going to pop up and say, oh, no, don't use those. These are better, because it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and the other thing in there is and the way that it touched you so much when you discovered it is that you are a spiritual abundance teacher. You already were, and you have that wisdom in your DNA as well, to bring to this project and this sharing. So that to me is so exciting when somebody says, well, this is really working for me, I feel great, and they decide to share it with their friends and their neighbors, and that's one thing. But when you bring your own wisdom with that, and your own knowledge of the quantum field and possibility and everything, all the work that you've been doing for years and years and years with Daniel, and you combine that, I'm like, whoa, just like.
Well, that's what, honestly, Jenni, we're having miracles happen. Most of my students and my one-on-one private clients and the people that we work with who are doing all of our programs, they're using them now, and I'm getting results like you wouldn't believe, because I know when I neutralize and delete out emotional trauma and stress and unconscious programs that we're not even aware of from our ancestors, past lives, from everywhere, right? From any dimensional reality. Because if you think about it, our DNA is millions and millions of miles of an information highway system. That is all energy, right? And it's all oscillating at an energy that responds to language and frequency. So I have learned the language and the frequency to affect our DNA and make massive changes in the body and the mind and soul. And all of a sudden, here is something that's going, yep, and I do this too. Almost like the patches talking to me. I say that the patches are my work in a patch, because I cannot believe that anybody could have actually downloaded this technology. When I first met David Schmidt, I said to him, you do realize that you downloaded this information, don't you? And he just looked at me like this. And then I did an interview with him, which I know that you're going to share with everyone. And I said to him, about this, being a brilliant scientist. He said, oh, I used to think I was a brilliant scientist, but now I know I'm just open to receive the information. And he understands. that he was given this technology and he was given this way of doing business as well. He didn't want it to be a big box item. He didn't want it to be something where we had to go to Amazon to buy it or whatever. He decided that this was a gift to the world. Oh, that's kind of a bit emotional even knowing that, isn't it? An incredible, incredible man. He's an angel. He wanted it to be a gift to the world, not only the technology, the reverse aging, and wanting to create the biggest wellness healing company on the planet for humanity. But he also wanted to upgrade people's financial situation. And when you put those two things together, from the top of a company, because I always say, having worked with a lot of big business people, when they're having problems down here with their staff and their executives, I always know the person at the top is the one that I need to work with. And because everything starts at the top. And the fact that this man and his team have the level of integrity and trust and divine guidance that they have with this energy, vibration, frequency model, you know, it's just a phenomenal thing. I feel it's God's gift to the human race. You know, it took him 11 years and millions of dollars to get patents for all of the other patches. It took under a year, 11 months to get the patent for the stem cell patch. You know why? Because they were able to prove that the moment this patch touched your body and it activated the light energy information, which gets sent to the brain immediately, the brain then sends it throughout the body, the information throughout the body. It happens the moment you put the patch on. So within minutes of applying this, your blood has changed. And of that, of course, they got the patent straight away. I mean, the more I dig into the information, the more I go into the science of it, because that's what is turning me on now. I'm like, I'm going, what's the science? You know, what is this? It's real science. It's real biology. And the fact that it's working on all of the organs, if you can imagine right now, the amount of stress on our organs. He created a patch called Carnosine. I haven't got it here. Carnosine, which you've probably heard of, Jenni, with all of the research you've done. So this Carnosine patch activates a 40% increase in organ strength. Now, can you imagine with our lungs, heart, brain, everything at the moment, how important that is? I just feel like funnily enough, time-wise, I feel like I've come across this at the exact time when it's needed the most. And I feel really blessed that I can share this with the world, and really blessed I can share it with you, because I know that you understand the importance of being on the abundance code when you're in a mission to serve.
Totally. So if you're listening and you want to know if Jenni P is in this, and she's like, hell yeah, she is. So I am so excited to get my patches and to start this adventure with you and your team. And you're going to see a lot more of me talking about this out there in my broadcast, and I'm sure that you and I are going to do some more broadcasts on this. I'm absolutely convinced of it. It's a given.
Yeah, me too. I can actually feel that, and you know,
me too. It was like,
energetically, I can feel the people who are going to be listening to this, and are the high consciousness women that you have there. They're going to say, okay, get on a Zoom call with us. We want to know how to do this. We want to know where to get it. What's the easiest, most inexpensive way of doing it? I can feel the questions kind of rolling in as we're talking. So I promise you, Jenni, that you and I can actually put the word out and say to people, invite them in, and we'll answer questions, and we'll get people to activate their own accounts so that they can really start using this system for themselves and their loved ones. I've got Daniel is wearing like 5 patches at the moment, and he's so excited. It was very interesting for me with him. He didn't want to use them because he's like you, Jenni. He has spent decades with supplementation and all of this other wonderful stuff, keeping himself happy, healthy and happy. And he said, no, you try the patches. I'm happy doing what I'm doing. We went down and listened to David Schmidt speak. And after 90 minutes, Daniel turned to him and he said, okay, catch me up, babe. And it was like, yeah, the moment he heard the science from the mouth of the man who actually downloaded this technology, and he understood because of who he is, what it was. And that's why, by the way, I called hashtag Patch Me Up Babe, the Facebook group, which is a free Facebook group, Jenni, for anybody that you know that you want to invite into your team, because quite frankly, I've really put together these incredible free things for people so that people can get all the support and all the love and all the fun they can possibly have in any business happening right here with us, with the two of us.
Okay, well, we're going to share all of those links, and I think we're going to conclude there, because this is just the start of a really big adventure. And it kind of also marks everything, this crossroads in what's happening in the world, a crossroads, and all of, as you said, your business went through a huge transition. So many people are going through financial transitions, emotional transitions, all sorts of health transitions, all sorts. So this is really beautiful timing. I can't wait to get started with you and get this out to the world as well. So thank you so much for coming on today.
Thanks, Jenni. Love you, and just love to everybody that is watching this.